Hello, my name is Cerece Rennie Murphy, and welcome to part three of my video series celebrating Black Speculative Fiction Month. Basically, to raise awareness about authors of color in the area of speculative fiction, including horror, fantasy, sci-fi, and paranormal mystery, and all kinds of wonderful, wonderful literature. Um, for this video, I'm going to be talking about the Steamfunk Anthology, edited by Milton Davis and Balogun Ojetade, and I hope that you can get a good sense of this fantastic cover. This anthology is just mind-blowing and includes everything from a character who morphs into a crime-fighting spider in the middle of the night to a little boy who creates this time machine to travel back in time to save his family from a lynching, to a space odyssey with robots that can appear like humans, and humans that can appear like robots, and all of what that entails. To another fantastic story about a Native American advanced society that is hidden underneath the hills of some vast territory between Chicago and San Francisco, and what happens with when this caravan of travelers encounters them. And just so many great stories in the Steamfunk Anthology. Now I'm going to back up a minute and talk about what is steampunk. For those, it's a subgenre of steampunk, and for those who don't know what that is, imagine like the Sherlock Holmes movies that you've seen, where it's sort of Victorian, but they've got all this funky tech. Well, that is steampunk, and this is steamfunk, which is essentially steampunk themes, but with an added layer of imagination and care and creativity, featuring people of color, and culture, and diverse cultures, and societies. And so that is what steampunk is all about. And this anthology is just fantastic. It's got a range of stories, as I said, going from the past to the future, really taking just such an imaginative take on so many things that we think that we're familiar with. So, for example, one of the stories that I loved in this book is about a group of young men who are going on safari to hunt this beast that is both half animal and half machine, and then also has these sort of supernatural fantasy elements to them. And so it takes, you think you're going on safari, you kind of know what's going to happen, but it just takes it into a completely different realm. And one of the other things that's really strong about that story, and so many of the stories in the Steamfunk Anthology, is that, again, it's not just focused on the tech, it's focused on the characters. And so in that safari story, I think it's called The Lion Hunter, you're feeling the anxiety and the anticipation of the young men who are going on this hunt, led by a woman, by the way, which is kind of cool. And just, you feel like you're right there. I remember this scene where they're in this cave, and they've essentially been lured by these half animal, half machine beasts into this dark cave. And and I don't want to give away the story, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead. They just start taking out like the members of the hunt group one by one, and you feel the main character, his heart is just pounding, and he just knows he's going to die because he thinks that he is the weakest member of this team. But something else happens, and I'm not going to say what it is, but that's the kind of exciting sort of turn of events and twists and innovative plots that you're going to find in this collection of over 10, 15 fantastic stories. So again, that's the Steamfunk Anthology, edited by Balogun, Ojetade, and Milton Davis. It's available on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, and that's something I haven't done a good job of doing, is letting you know where you can buy all these fantastic books that I've been talking about. Again, they're available in ebook and paperback format, Amazon, Barnes& and Noble. Go and check them out. Let's see, on my website, on my blog, kickingandscreaming.com, you can find more about authors that I have featured in my videos, as well as my to be read list. And this is just like a tiny little portion, because I'm always reading all kinds of stuff, and I get recommendations from my readers of my books that I love, and quickly add to my list. So you can go to my website, www.crmurphybooks.com, and it'll lead you to my blog, and then you'll see a list of all the authors of color that I featured during this video, and some others that I didn't have time to talk about that I am really looking forward to reading. Other resources that I found during this month. There's a website called Diversity in Science Fiction, and I'm going to put that link on my blog, that is also featuring a journal of Southeast Asian science fiction writers. Hello, that's awesome. Anyway, and also some science fiction stories that are coming out of the Muslim world. And so I am just, thrilled and excited to get into those. I haven't read them yet, which is why I haven't recommended them on this video, but I can't wait to. So get out there, get yourself introduced to some fantastic authors of color, add them to your list of fantastic science fiction, and have a great time. Thanks so much for listening to this and celebrating this fantastic month with me. Take care and happy reading.